Hey everyone, welcome to today's lesson. I think it's a very fun lesson because I am going to talk to you about the top 10 reasons to learn English. Now, I'll be honest with you. These are my top 10 reasons, and I'm sure that some of them may be similar for all of you. And of course, we all have different reasons. You might have different reasons for learning English, and that's perfectly fine. But these are reasons that what I hope is that as we go through these and talk to you about them, that maybe it'll just give you something else to think about, try to help keep you motivated to continue learning, to continue improving your skills, because I think that, well, whether it's you're learning English or any language for that matter, I think it's a wonderful thing to always get better, learn more, and I am very happy that you guys are learning English with me. So let me quickly introduce myself in case this is your first time here. My name is Wes. This channel, Interactive English, it's all about trying to help you reach your fluency goals. So if that's what you want to do, please subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and anything so that I will then hopefully become one of your online teachers. And you can learn with me each week because, well, I come out with quite a few lessons. So I do want to say some quick hellos to some people who are with me in the chat. Hello to Kaya, Juliana, good to see you. Diptajan, sorry if I mispronounced names. Sleepwalker, Rosalinda, how are you? Abdul Rashid, Washington, Maggie, hello. Let's, as we go through these, I told you these are like my top 10, and I'm going to try to present them in a more interesting way, I think, kind of more entertaining way, and I'll give you some information as to why this is my opinion about why. This is the reason why you should learn English. Oh, Washington Rodriguez, first time here. Awesome, excellent. Love having first timers with me. So the first reason that I have for you is, well, I'm going to explain this as we go through it. I thought this was kind of a funny meme right here. These little little baby ducks just trying to fit in. And really the first reason is, well, you don't want to feel left out. And there are so many people around the world today who are learning English. I think especially when you talk about kids learning it in school, many of them have to. So I think as you get older, at least this is what happened for me, is that as I got older, I started to understand how important language learning was. I really started to appreciate it more. I wish that I had taken it more seriously when I was a student, but I think I wanted to be a part of that community. If I were traveling somewhere else and being around other people, I wanted to fit in. And to kind of show you this, I have this right here I wanted to share with you, that this is from the Ethnologue. And the Ethnologue is it's a publication that comes out every year giving statistics on language as well as living languages, really. So this just shows you that English is the most widely spoken language in the world, 1.348 billion. Now, the way they calculated this up, L1 and L2 learners. So what that means is, like, L1 is that English is your first language. L2 would mean that English is your second language. So when you combine those, L1 and L2, we're talking about 1.3 billion people. And I think it's great to be a part of that group, as well as other language groups as well, but you don't want to feel left out. So that's my first reason, because there are so many English speakers. It's good to be a part of that group. The next reason that I have for you is, I kind of mentioned it about a minute ago, and this should give you a clue as to what I'm talking about. I also thought this was an entertaining image. It says, "This is me walking down the aisle." So this is a reference, walking down the aisle, when somebody is getting married, and they walk down the aisle and then they get married, they have the ceremony. So basically what this person is saying, like, this is their love. This is their true love. They're walking down the aisle on an airplane. So really, that the next reason that I have for you is basically just travel. Your ability to travel, go other places, and communicate with other people. Because truthfully, if you, I had just showed you that other picture talking about 1.3 billion speakers. If you travel to another country and you don't speak the native language there, there's a good chance that English would be the common language that you would use. And that's how you would communicate with people, ask them how much something costs, tell them that you want something to eat. You could even ask them where the bathroom is. So if you plan on traveling, I think this is a great reason to learn English. And I don't know, please share with me what your reasons are. I'd love to hear from you, especially if you can connect to any of the reasons that I'm giving right now. And as I go through, if I find something to comment on, I will. So the next one. So we talked about, the first one, you want to fit in. Travel is another important reason why you should learn English. And then this is number 3. All right, number 3 of the top 10. And I'll tell you, this is nice to meet you. I already forgot your name. So in short, what I'm really referring to are relationships. You're able to form different relationships. So right now, let me know if any of you are trying to learn English or improve English because of some relationship you have. Maybe you are interested in dating somebody else. Perhaps you're interested in making friends from another country, or you already have friends and you would like to improve your English skills so that you could communicate a bit better with them. So relationships, not just talking about dating, but relationships, friendships, colleagues at work, any type of relationship. This is a good reason to learn English. All right. So let's look at the next reason, number 4. All right, number 4. We're running through these. Here again is how I wanted to present it. I am ready for my promotion. That dog is ready for a promotion. So I'm talking about you would get a promotion because of work. All right. Learning English is going to present you with different work opportunities. And it might not just be like, maybe it could be a promotion. Maybe you are able to advance further in a company or in your career because you speak English, or maybe you even speak some other languages as well. Again, I think many of these reasons that I'm giving you could relate to learning any language. But I know you guys are here because you want to improve your English skills, so I'm relating it to that. So work opportunities, I think, will definitely help. And again, you can connect many of these because there are so many English speakers around the world. I already mentioned that when you're traveling, chances are that English could be the common language. So that could be another work opportunity, that if you are trying to get a job in the tourist industry and that business, they might want people who can speak English that have to communicate with tourists in English. So I think learning English and improving your English will definitely help you get more work opportunities in the future. And again, if you guys can relate to this, if some of you have had work opportunities because of English, just let me know. Great to get a foreign culture sleep. Yes, I'm going to come to that one in just a minute. Songs in English. Yep, I'm getting. You guys are reading my mind. Excellent. So this is the next one. And again, I thought this was a funny way to kind of introduce the idea, the reason. I admire your relentless drive to further your education and avoid real work. So really, this is kind of taking a jab at, I think, higher education, probably people doing MAs, PhDs, who just continue going to school, but relating it to learning English and language. I mentioned work opportunities. I feel that it's important to also say that, yeah, it's also going to help you with a lot more education opportunities. That if you want to learn something, if you want to go to school, if you speak English and you can take classes in English, that is going to give you more choices. as to maybe which university you can go to, or perhaps you want to take a class, but maybe only the class is only offered in English. And I think this is especially important because all of you guys, I'm looking at the chat, see Min from Vietnam, Esther, hello from Barcelona, Juliana knows in Italy. So everybody's from, different places around the world, but you guys are all online right now. And online education is something that's growing. It's becoming a lot more prevalent. And say that you have an interest in learning more about cars or fashion or something like that, and you want to find some online class. Well, I think there are many online classes that are offered, but they may be offered in English. Now, that doesn't mean that you could probably find maybe another online class in your native language as well. But again, it's about having more opportunities to take classes, online classes here, or actually attend some university or school, and then you just have the choice. So you get to decide what you want to do. Excellent. All right, Gustav. Yes, you said Vicky also learning language. She's learning German. Again, everybody, as you guys can just see in the chat, people are from around the world. So I think education is another opportunity that learning English, improving your English is going to give you. And the last thing I'll say about this quickly, I mentioned about taking an online class in English. I personally think that is an excellent way to improve your English, is if you're taking perhaps a class that's related to something else and you're learning vocabulary related to that, something that you're interested in, and you could take those classes in English. The next one that I have for you, so we've done the top 5 already. Number 6, this one, the number 6 reason why you should learn English or continue improving your skills. Some of you probably recognize that logo right there, which is from Netflix. And you can see, I don't know if you can see the writing, it says person who pays for the account, and then you have Parasite 1, Parasite 2, Parasite 3. What this is referring to is a parasite is a person, they're kind of joking, saying this is somebody who's using another person's account and that person is paying for it. I'll be honest with you, my wife and I, our family, we are parasites. We are parasites right now. So I can relate to this. But what I'm trying to get at with learning English is that when you learn English, that you also are then able to access a lot more entertainment, TV shows, movies, books, stories, anything. There's so much out there that's in English, and it will open that door, and you can watch a TV show that everybody's been talking about, or you can go see a movie and you're able to watch it in English and not have to worry about having it dubbed in your language. Because again, when people would dub in like films or TV shows in another language, it is slightly different. It is a little different. And it's nice to be able to go watch it in the original language. And I think this is true. This is, I think, so useful, again, for any language, that the more languages you learn, the more opportunities you're going to have. But because English is such a popular language around the world, there is so much entertainment in English that you would then have access to. So I think that is another great reason why you should keep improving, keep trying to learn, and it's just going to help you open up so many more doors to entertainment. I've actually been watching some shows on Netflix, the Narcos series in Spanish. I speak some Spanish, so that I'm comfortable with. And I've even been watching this other show in French, Lupin, and I just turn on the subtitles. But again, there's so much access out there because of the internet. And that kind of leads me right into number 7. The number 7 reason why, and I thought this was kind of funny and probably somewhat true for some people out there. It said, the internet went down and I had to spend time with my family. They seem like good people. kind of indicating that this person's not spending much family time. They're usually online, and I think probably many of us can relate to that. That as time goes on, I know especially for me over the last 10 years, 20 years, I spend more and more time online. I spend more on time surfing the internet. It's more like my work is more related to that. So, what I'm trying to get to with number 7 is basically saying that English is the language used online. It is the language of the internet. Now, of course, there are many websites out there that in different languages, but English, again, once again, is the most popular. It is the most common. And just to prove it, this was taken from Statistica, which provides a lot of different information and statistics about things. So this is the common languages used on the internet as of January 2020. You see English is like it makes up 25% of the internet right now, followed by Chinese and then Spanish and then Arabic. But 25%, that is a lot. And again, when you speak English, you have access to that. It then leads you into some of these other things when we talk about access to that entertainment, possibly access to finding employment and getting more work opportunities, access to travel. So a lot of these are really connected. So, oh, thank you, Fadal. I appreciate it. Nuria, hi from Argentina. He says they don't dub anything in German. That's good. I think nowadays, I think dubbing is becoming less common. And I do think that's a good thing, that really people getting that exposure to other languages. And I think for me, that my personal preference is I would rather watch a TV show or movie using subtitles than it be dubbed in English. Let's see. Takayo says learning English enrichment of life for me. Excellent, perfect. I'm gonna kind of leading into that one as well. So number 8, the number 8 reason to learn English, and I will explain this as well. I just thought it was funny. People say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day. And this, I guess, is a quote from Winnie the Pooh, or it was part of that. I did not know that it was from Winnie the Pooh, but it seems to be attributed to that. And I thought this quote was really funny. But what I think it's really saying is, again, saying that you do nothing. You're not having to work hard. And I will explain this in saying that it's easy to learn. Let me explain what I mean when I say it's easy to learn. I don't necessarily mean that, it's going to be easy for everyone. Language learning, it takes time, it takes dedication. For most of us, like especially for me, it takes a long time. What I'm really talking about when I say that it's easy to learn is so easy to get a lot of exposure. It's easy to learn because there's so much of it that surrounds us. I just showed you that basically 25% of the internet is in English. So you go online, you're probably going to be reading in English. You turn on the radio in your car, chances are you might hear some songs in English. Whatever country you live in, we were just talking about movies. You could go to the movie theater and perhaps you can see a movie in English. So it's very accessible. It's a language that's very accessible. And because it's so accessible, I think it can be a little easier to learn than perhaps other languages. If somebody wanted to learn Swedish, it might be a little more challenging because it might be a little more difficult to get exposure to Swedish than it is for somebody to say, well, I want to get exposure to English. And there's many different choices out there. Even learning online, we talked about education. If you want to take some classes in English, or if you want to take private lessons with a teacher, there are so many options out there. I'm just taking a guess, but I'm guessing there are probably more English teachers than there are Swedish teachers. Again, you just have a lot more opportunities. And because of that, that's why I said it might be easier. So that's my long explanation for easy to learn before many of you start thinking like, wait a second, I'm having a tough time learning English. I know it is, it can be challenging, but I just stick with it. It's worth it, which is why I'm doing these top 10 reasons. Let's see. So number 8 is the best. Yes, this was a great. I really love this picture. Number 9, because somebody before had mentioned culture, and that's what this one is related to. So I thought this was interesting, again, to giving a little bit of a take on water in restaurants. You see in the US, you see those ice cubes, France, like sparkling water, and then China, where it's hot. Now, I don't fall on any of these categories. I'm from the United States, but I don't drink ice water. I'm sure there's probably a lot of other people that don't drink ice water. My choice of water is not up there. I just pour some tap water, whatever temperature comes out. That's what I'll drink, and I'm fine with it. But again, the point that I'm trying to make here with number 9 is you're able to learn about different cultures, because it is going to open up other realms of, like, travel, for example. We talked about being able to travel somewhere, communicate in English, learn more about other people in English as you're talking with them, and you learn about other cultures. And it doesn't have to be through travel. You can also learn about other cultures just from talking to people online. I hope that maybe some of you, perhaps you can learn a little bit more about culture in the United States from watching my video lessons. That's what I hope. But again, it's partly learning about different cultures. So I think that is another reason, which somebody had mentioned previously, as to why they wanted to learn English. Learning cultures is a great reason. And then, let's see, number 10, and I'm going to leave you with this quote right here. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Albert Einstein. To be honest, I have no idea if Albert Einstein actually said this. It's one of those quotes that gets attributed to Albert Einstein. And I feel like there are so many out there. There are just so many of these popular quotes and phrases. And then you look it up and it'll just say Albert Einstein. I don't know if it's true, but this is one that I thought was relevant for number 10 as we're kind of wrapping this up. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change, because basically what I'm talking about is just you learning more about yourself. Because we just talked about number 9, your ability to learn about different cultures and get that experience, and the education opportunities. You're going to be able to learn more that way. And I think just in general, the more you learn, not just about language, but about anything, any topic, I think you're always going to learn a little bit more about yourself, and that's a good thing. And I think English will help you do this. I think learning other languages will also help you learn more about yourself. I told you that some of these I definitely think are connected as well. Good reasons why you should learn any language in general. I think a lot of them are related to that and relevant. So let me, again, because I sure you probably don't remember some of these. These are, again, the top 10 if you kind of wanted to look back through them. Number 1, you don't want to feel left out, because I told you that there are 1.3 billion speakers of English worldwide. That's L1 and L2. Travel, again, if you travel somewhere, especially outside, travel abroad, there's a good chance you're going to be speaking English in order to communicate. Relationships, any type of relationship, friendship, love, that is a good reason to learn English. Your work opportunities, I'm sure many of you probably that might be one of the reasons why you are here, you watch these video lessons, is to try to help with your work opportunities. Education, I mentioned that your ability to attend different classes, whether it's actually you go to a university or even just online classes. Entertainment, so much out there in English, TV shows, movies, books, you name it. There's just a lot more entertainment that you could then access. It's the language used online, 25%, I think is what it was. It's like 25% of the internet is in English. I said it's easy to learn, but again, I'm really talking about you can easily get exposure to English. Number 9, learn about different cultures. And then number 10, wrapping it up, learning a little bit more about yourself. So I hope that maybe again you can relate to some of these. I saw you guys writing some in the chat as to why you are trying to learn English and improve your skills. I think there are more than just 10 reasons, but ultimately what I hope is that if you can, if you think about some of these reasons and maybe it helps you stay motivated a little bit, because I know learning a language, it can take some time, and it's important to stay motivated to continue improving. I love doing these lessons and seeing so many familiar faces each week. It's awesome. So many familiar faces like Lolly, Rosalinda, Vicky, Gustav, Sleepwalker, Juliana, Takayo. I really appreciate you guys being here with me. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope you enjoyed my top 10 reasons. And right now in the chat or in the comments, once this gets posted, let me know what is your primary reason for learning English. Why do you want to learn English? Is it one of these reasons right here, or is it some other reason? Let me know in the comments, because I just love hearing from you guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you. Mochtaba, Dipanjan, Rudra, Washington, Rodriguez, Eder, Angela. Thank you guys for joining me today, trying to give some quick little shout outs at the end. Also, if you do, I know kind of mention this every now and then, if you guys like what we do, want to support the channel, links are in the below. If you want to become a member, a patron, you guys can check that out. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will be back next Saturday for another live lesson. Thank you, Juliana, Nayan, Ahmed. We're learning it to get educational opportunities. Perfect. Sebastiano, you're welcome. Thanks for joining me. Bugs Furry, love for English is insatiable. Awesome. Raul Garcia, you're welcome. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining me. Talal. All right, I'm going to wrap things up. Thank you guys again. Yeah, that's kind of it. Remember, let me know, write to me in the comments what your reason is for learning